Oh, sorry. Hello everyone, Tammy here. Welcome to my channel. And before we do anything, I'm going to light my candle. It's been a few days since I've been in here, and I feel like I need some help with my creative mojo. Doesn't seem like it needs to be trimmed, but I think it does. I'm almost done with this, then I'm going to have to find a new candle. I think this is the last of the jar candles that my husband made. Okay. Okay, so that's what I'm lighting my candle for, to just help me figure out what I want to do next in this book that I've done a little bit of pre-cutting and things, but I don't really know what I'm doing, so I figured pre-cutting would help me get started. Okay, so let's get to it. This is the hashtag Let's Make Together 2025, and it is hosted by myself, Tammy Van Antwerp Art, and my friend Caryl at Free Spirit Arts. So make sure to tag us if you're playing along, and make sure to use the hashtag also. I don't think it's like a secret or revealing anything that we are doing another Let's Make Together 2025 in July. So you'll have to stay tuned for that. It won't be quite so involved as this, but we are already planning our next project. So that's very exciting. Okay, so this is what I have so far. I did a couple pages in the front. And then I started getting ready to do this page, and I saw Caryl, and I also heard Angela say the same thing, that working a little bit in the front and then going and working a little bit in the back kind of keeps everything even. And I like that idea, because sometimes you get towards the end of the book and you're like, I don't have anything left. What should I use? You know, all that stuff. So I am going to glue this and put it down. So I hope you're all having a great day. I'm actually filming this on Sunday. It's Memorial Day weekend. I always feel like I get like I have a good what do you call it, momentum going, and then I have a couple appointments and I have grown-up stuff I have to do, and then all of a sudden my momentum has shifted away from my art room and away from recording, and sometimes it's hard to get that back. I feel like, especially our weather has finally turned, and it's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I have my window open, so if you hear a lot of noise, that is why. But it's just beautiful. So then that's also hard when you live in the Pacific Northwest, specifically in the Seattle area. You know what I'm talking about when I say, when the weather turns, all of a sudden all you want to do is be outside, just because we spend so much of the year in dreary, cloudy, cold, damp, wet, and it's just nice when the sun's out. Okay, so this is gonna go here. And I'm not sure if I'm going to put anything on here. God, I hear someone's dog. It doesn't sound like our across the street neighbor's dog, who literally sounds like he's screaming when he barks. That sounded like a puppy. But they got it. Okay, so there's that. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do here. Maybe I should do that. Look through my stuff, see what I have. These are all things I'm gonna make big tags out of. I have decided. So where, here it is. Okay. So I actually do this on my my regular junk journals that are not composition books. I usually, if I have multiple signatures, what I do is I start like something like this, and then at the front of each signature I do the same thing. It's like a formula that works really well for me, and it keeps me flowing and moving. And I don't do it every time, but I think when I'm in a spot where I'm at now, where it's like I don't really know what to do, I think doing something similar to what I have here, so a pocket. I don't have another article to put here, but I can just leave the lines there for someone to journal on, and then this area up here too, which at the end of the project I'm going to see how much ephemera I have left and stickers and things, and then I might embellish a little bit more. So that's what I think I'll do here, is I'll pick one of these, and I might pick one of these silly ones to go in the back. I think that might be kind of fun. I think that's what I'll do. Something goofy. Oh, I just have paper everywhere. I want to make this smaller. So I have to remember that and experiment. I think I can squish it down to a 5x7 size. And see what happens. So yes, we have a few people playing along with the hashtag. We have Dahlia at Mandalay Cards and More. We have Angela at dogwoodpaperarts. And Deb Hauk, she's making a altering a half of a composition book. And she actually started hers before we started the hashtag. But she mentioned that she's going to use the hashtag when she posts her video. So you can look for hers. And she's also, the half composition book that she's doing, it's for another hashtag. So she's going to use 2 hashtags, which is kind of fun. And that's something like what we're going to do in July. So you'll have to stay tuned for that. We chose July because I know I'm not sure that I'm going to be done with mine when June hits, because it's just around the corner. And I don't think I'm going to have my book done. So we might have a week or 2 break at the end of June. But that's fine. Okay, so now we have this guy. So silly. I forgot to tell you guys, when I got my blood drawn, I do labs every 3 months with the oncologist at the cancer center, because the medication I'm on can cause some, it can just cause some issues, and so they test every 3 months just to see how everything's going. You know, all that kidney function, liver function, all that kind of stuff, and you know, blood cell count, and just general labs. And I had my port removed since the last time I had labs, and the arm, this is the side, my left side, that I had the cancer, in my breast, and it was in one of my lymph nodes. But the surgeon decided to take out all of my lymph nodes, because of the type of cancer I had, is an aggressive form of cancer. They treat it aggressively, so you know, that always meant mastectomy. A diagnosis of a inflammatory breast cancer is always stage 3, always, and it's always mastectomy. And I'm not sure if it's always chemotherapy, but I also had the chemotherapy. But anyway, I digress. Well, not really, because I do have to talk about the chemotherapy. So when that happens, when they take all of your lymph nodes out, you have the possibility of getting something called lymphedema, which is a swelling of your arm where they remove the lymph nodes. And oh no, I forgot to make this a pocket. Shoot. Oh well, at least we have this pocket, so that's good. I'm wondering if I should make this a little bigger then. I have this piece that I kind of like. Yeah, I like that better. Where's my cute little pencil? Shoot. Oh, here it is. Sorry, got distracted. Anyway, you cannot, while you might have swelling, so I have just a tiny bit, so my swelling is minimal, but it's there, and I'm supposed to wear a compression sleeve. I forgot to put mine on this morning. I have two levels of compression. I have kind of a lighter compression, and then I have a tighter one. And if I'm going to be working outside in the yard, or you know, being very active, you know, moving things around, cleaning the house, vacuuming, mopping, whatever, even dusting, I wear my heavier compression. And if I'm going to be in my art room, I'll use the lighter compression one. And I also have to do massaging of my arm, because basically the lymphedema, what happens is we have lymph fluid all throughout our body, and the lymph nodes are what move the fluid through. So when they're gone, like all of mine on the left side are gone, I have to kind of retrain the fluid to move on its own. And I think sometimes it never learns. And so you always have the risk of the lymphedema coming on at some point. I have to tell you, when I went to physical therapy, I saw a woman who had um, full-blown lymphedema, and her arm was like this. Like it was, I've never seen an arm that looked like that before. And so I do everything I can to prevent that from happening. And the massaging is just, this is the massaging. It's very gentle because the fluid is just right under the skin. And so I have to do this. And I just do it whenever I remember. I always do it in the shower. I usually take it or do it before I put my compression sleeve on, and then I do it again when I take it off. And I seem to be doing okay with it. When I say I have slight swelling, it's like maybe a half to an inch difference between this upper arm and this upper arm. And I remember when I used to go to a workout place years ago. Like before I even got married. I'll see if I can remember what it was called, but anyway, they would do I went and worked out there, and they would do, and it was for women. I almost had the name of it. Living Well Lady, Living Well something. Anyway, and I always had one side slightly larger than the other. And I think not traditionally, but I think what they expect, like when you're working out, is that your dominant hand, arm, leg, whatever, would be slightly larger. Okay, so there we go. There's that. So I'm gonna see if I have. So anyway, so you cannot, I cannot get blood pressure taken in this arm, and I cannot have blood drawn from this arm, which is is unfortunate, and it's also frustrating because this arm is the good arm. This is the good vein. This is where they have no problems, and you can see the difference. There's just nothing here. And then on top of that, this arm's always been hard, but when I was on chemotherapy, I'm still like kicking myself for saying no, but they insisted on giving me chemo, even though my port wasn't working. And I was scheduled to get my port replaced, but the oncologist that was at the other cancer center I used to go to, they decided to just do chemo in my arm. So they did it right in my vein. And ever since then, my arm has not been the same. And so, so when I went in this time, it was my first time going in for labs without my port. So I have some words that I pulled out. Here we go. Anyway, it was my first time going in to get my labs without my port. And, you know, I apologized to the technician before. I said, yeah, sorry, this is not a good arm, not going to be pretty. And he goes, okay, well, we'll see what we can do. And so he tried 2 or 3 times. Well, he tried first and couldn't find a vein, and then they have like this vein finder thing, and he went through and was looking for a vein that way. And the third time, and this has never happened to me, he apparently he hit a nerve because it felt, so he was up here trying to get my blood, and it felt like a lightning bolt going like this in my arm. And it was very painful and very unexpected. So it was kind of scary. And, I said, ow, and I told him what it felt like. Well, ever since then, I move my arm a certain way and I get that shot. I get that. I'm just like, ugh. So frustrating. Yeah. So anyway, just something I thought I'd share. I don't know. Have they ever hit a nerve when you've gone in for blood? And if so, does that weird sensation go away? It's been over a week since I had my blood drawn. Oh, so then he said, yeah, no, I'm done. And he brought in a nurse, and then the nurse did my hand, which I know they don't like to do because it takes a lot longer because they need to get 3 vials of blood, and it just takes longer. But it didn't bother me. It doesn't hurt me. I just can't see what's happening. If I look and see my blood coming out of my arm, I will pass out. So even if it's my cat, my dog, my husband, anybody, I can't watch it. And then I'm perfectly fine. I mean, I know what they're doing. I can see the vials afterwards. It's just while it's happening. So yeah, that's fun. Something new you learned about me. Yeah. So it just reminded me to tell you that because I moved my arm a bit ago and I was like, oh yeah, I have that. I still have that shooting, extremely uncomfortable jolt of electricity in my arm. So anyway. But that's going to be the story of my life unless I can really get this under control and it heals, all the way so I don't have swelling anymore. And it's kind of weird because I can kind of feel the swelling, but mostly like that whole side along my rib cage is still very numb. Um, so it just feels weird anyway. Yeah. Exciting stuff. Okay, so now we just have a big pocket here with some writing here. And we have this. Then I was going to, let's see, what do we have here? So Robin reminded me, Robin, who should have a channel, is she's doing a altering a composition book too, and she mentioned that she's doing some stenciling onto her pages because she likes to leave a lot of the lined pages in for journaling on, which is what I'm planning to do here. So I thought I'd just go through and like this one. That one's kind of fun. This one's kind of Okay, so I got more done than I thought I was going to get done. I really just thought I'd do this this back area and stencil a few pages and call it good, but my mojo came back. So okay, so yeah, I got all this done, this and this, and then this and this. So that's back cover and 3 pages. Very, very, very happy with that. So I like the idea of going front, back, front, back, front, back. And I like the idea also of getting some of this stuff in here before because I'm going to burn. But I wanted to get some stuff on there so I wasn't gluing stuff down on burnt edges, I guess. But now I can do that. We'll see how that goes. And that's it. So that is it for our hashtag Let's Make Together 2025. We are altering a composition book. Caryl at Free Spirit Arts and myself at Tammy Van Antwerp Art. And yeah, we'd love to have you join us. You can hop in anytime, and you're never late. You're always right on time. And yeah, that's where we are. So don't forget to be good to yourself and be kind to each other. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.